Welcome back to The Truth is Viral. My name is Bob Powell, and today I'm going to put on my editorial hat and speak to all of the liberals and progressives who've been absolutely losing their minds over the election of Donald Trump using a little thing that I like to call common sense. I challenge you to watch this video to the end before making a judgment. If you are as open-minded, as tolerant as you claim to be, that shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to give it to you straight without any BS, and some of you aren't going to like it one little bit. Because I'm a Christian, I'll invariably get comments telling me that my attitude is not Christ-like, and they will say things like, "What would Jesus do?" Well, I'd like to remind those folks that Jesus Christ called the Pharisees vipers and hypocrites, language that would get you killed in Jesus' day, and in fact, in his case, it did. And then, with forethought, Christ fashioned a whip and started beating money changers who had desecrated his Father's temple, flipping over tables and generally causing mayhem. Well, stand by for some mayhem as I introduce a concept known as liberalism is a mental disorder.
You're watching The Truth is Viral, the only news program on the internet trusted to deliver the truth since 2008. And now, here's your host, Mr. Bobby Powell.
The only ammunition that Hillary Clinton and her supporters had against Donald Trump during the campaign was to accuse him of being a meanie, that he says things that are not so nice, that he's someone who hurts the feelings of others, someone who is, quote unquote, deplorable. I can't and I won't defend Donald Trump's locker room talk, but I have to call out the hypocrisy of those on the left who are the most offended by his comments. Would you like to know what I find truly deplorable? I think it's deplorable when Barack Obama shows off his erection in front of a gaggle of female reporters who are not only unoffended by the display, but openly hoot and holler at the president as if they were having a bachelorette party at a male strip club.
Agent, you're killing us. Agent, sit down. Agent, sit down.
I think it is deplorable for Michelle Obama to claim that Donald Trump's comments shook her to the core while calling Beyonce a wonderful role model for her children, taking Sasha and Malia to a Jay-Z concert where songs like his magnum opus Pussy is performed. Check out these lyrics. Ladies, beta males, you may want to cover your ears for this. I ain't no rapper, but I'ma say my shit when it comes down to that mother blanking clit, clit, clit. Niggas are sick, sick, sick. Turn on you quick, quick, quick. That's why I be giving mommy much dick, dick, dick. Why y'all chumps be copping them furs and all that, feigning for this pussy as if y'all was on crack. When it comes to the truth, I can't hold back. Oh my gosh, that takes a lot of talent. Malia Obama is only 18 years old. And she was caught on video openly using drugs and shaking that ass for the camera like a common stripper. Gee, I wonder where she learned that. Beyonce and Jay-Z, wonderful role models. Those are some fine role models you chose there, Michelle. You did a real bang-up job as a parent. Your daughter is now a hoochie mama. I think it's deplorable when liberals condemn Tim Tebow for giving thanks to God on the football field, but consider Colin Kaepernick to be some kind of a hero because he refuses to rise for the national anthem. Kaepernick, who's had every advantage that life in the United States has to offer, is nothing but a punk. If he feels so strongly about disrespecting the United States, perhaps he'd like to take me up on my flag challenge. I kind of doubt that he will, though. He kind of seems like a wimp to me. I think it's deplorable when liberals like Miley Cyrus can write a dildo, fillet a sex doll, and masturbate on stage in front of teen and preteen boys and girls and be praised for it. And then she starts ragging against Donald Trump and his grab her by the pussy comment by encouraging the children in the front row of her concerts to literally grab hers. Yet instead of being accused of demeaning women, she's called daring. She's called a role model. It's even more deplorable that parents allow their children to attend one of her disgusting displays. I think it's deplorable when liberals like Katy Perry, Amy Schumer, and self-confessed child molester Lena Dunham use sex to sell themselves and then have the temerity to call Donald Trump a misogynist, suffering selective amnesia when it comes to the rapes and sexual assaults committed by Bill Clinton, ones that were covered up by his wife Hillary, crimes that included threatening the victims after the fact. I think it is deplorable that Madonna can proclaim love will win in one breath and you in the next.
Welcome to the revolution of love. You. As the poet W.H. Auden once wrote on the eve of World War II, we must love one another or die. You. I choose love. Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House. We choose love. We choose love. We choose love. You. You. This is the hallmark of revolution.
Apparently, Madonna only loves people that think exactly like her. And if you don't, and you happen to live in the White House, well, she's just going to blow you up. Doesn't sound like a loving statement to me. And what about her promise to fillet any man who voted for Hillary Clinton? What happened to that?
If you vote for Hillary Clinton, I will give you a blowjob, okay?
Not only was that a disgusting offer to make, totally demeaning of women, but when Hillary Clinton lost, she reneged on her promise, just like the dozens of other celebrities that said that they'd leave the country if Donald Trump were elected president. Well, he is President Cupcake, so why are y'all still here? I think Ashley Judd is deplorable. She thinks that yellow emoji should be banned because they represent white privilege. And instead of putting forth a valid political argument for the empowerment of women, all she can do is hurl a string of personal insults at the President of the United States in a rant that could be accurately described as totally unhinged.
I am a nasty woman. I'm not as nasty as a man who looks like he bathes in Cheeto dust. Blacks are still in shackles, but I feel Hitler, sexual assault, gas chambers, homophobia, racism, transphobia, turning rainbows into suicide notes, Nazis, electroconversion therapy, misogyny, white privilege, like your wet dreams, bloodstain on my jeans, I'm nasty, erection, the sacred, messy part of my womanhood, I'm a nasty woman, a loud, vulgar, proud woman. Our pussies are for our pleasure. We are here to be respected. We are here to be nasty. I am nasty like Hillary.
I think it's deplorable that the woman these people supported with all of their hearts, Hillary Clinton, would laugh about the savage murder of Muammar Gaddafi.
We came, we saw, he died.
Or the brutal rape of a 12-year-old girl when she represented the child's assailant in court.
Took a lie detector test. I had to polygraph, which he passed, which forever destroyed my faith in polygraphs.
And then claimed to be some kind of champion of women and children. I think it's deplorable that Hillary Clinton accepted scores of millions of dollars from countries where gays are regularly imprisoned and executed, and then claims to stand up for gay rights. I don't recall Hillary Clinton's State Department condemning the treatment of gays in Muslim countries one single time. I also didn't see any Hollywood celebrities using their platforms to decry the horrific treatment of gays and women in Muslim countries. Comedian Sarah Silverman once said that she made fun of Christians because it was easy, that they don't behead you as a Muslim would. I didn't see Silverman standing up for Bernie Sanders after it was proven that the DNC conspired to steal the nomination from him either. See, this is a common trait among the left, folks. They can't take responsibility for anything. If wrongdoing wasn't committed by a straight white man, well, it just didn't happen. I think that it's deplorable when the Democratic Party puts out anti-Trump ads featuring Latino children and the elderly, using language that would make a sailor or a Marine on a 6-month float blush.
I want the Republican Party to know we will burn this motherfucker down.
Hola, Donald Trump. Racist. Fuck you, racist. Fuck. If you try to deport my abuelita, motherfucker, get the fuck out of my country.
Right in the nutsack.
That is outright child and elder abuse, but liberals call it edgy and funny. I find that to be truly deplorable. I think that it's deplorable that Hillary Clinton and staffers at the Democratic National Committee call Latinos Taco Bowl voters and gay voters homos, that they can conspire to steal the nomination from Bernie Sanders, calling him a doofus and labeling his supporters basement dwellers. And then the lamestream media and members of the progressive left say nothing, even actively conspiring to hide or discount evidence of wrongdoing by anybody on the left. In fact, the WikiLeaks release of Clinton advisor John Podesta's emails show that Hillary Clinton has hatred in her heart for ordinary Americans, as well as Podesta's own observation that Hillary Clinton lies quite often. Over at Project Veritas, filmmaker James O'Keefe released damning footage of Clinton operatives proudly describing how they incited violence at Trump rallies during the campaign at the behest and with the largesse of communist billionaire George Soros.
There's a script.
Oh, there is a script.
There's a script.
Okay.
There's a script of engagement. Sometimes the crazies bite, and sometimes the crazies don't bite. They're starting confrontations in the line, right? They're not starting confrontations
the volunteers
in the rally, because once they're inside the rally, they're under Secret Service's control. You can message to draw them out and draw them to punch you.
So the Chicago protest, when they shut all that was us.
Me and I did the Chicago Trump event where we shut down the light bulbs. Yeah.
Then, O'Keefe's investigative reporters infiltrated anarchist and communist groups that planned to use butyric acid bombs at inaugural balls in Washington, D.C.
If you had a freaking pint of butyric acid, I don't care how big the building is, it's closed and it's staying closed for a while. Yeah. Then I can break the cans with a plunger, some stiff rubber bands, and a safety pin thing, so all you gotta do is pull the pin and press the plunger, the whole can discharges.
But the lamestream media would not report his findings, although the police and the Secret Service took them very seriously. I find that deplorable. I think that it's deplorable when race pimps like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson encourage George Soros-funded Black Lives Matter thugs to burn down cities, ambush police officers, and attack random white people because a cop shot a black man, even if the cop himself was black and the decedent a thug. Yet they have not one word to say about the bloody battlefield known as Chirac, where more black people have been killed by other black people in gang violence than soldiers who have died in Iraq and Afghanistan combined. I think that it's deplorable that more than 50% of black pregnancies are terminated on an abortionist table, terminating the lives of hundreds of thousands of beautiful children who by natural design are full of unlimited potential every single year. And the Reverends Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson are nowhere to be found. These men are not Christians. Both of them should be ashamed of themselves and turn in their collars. Planned Parenthood is carrying out a genocide against black Americans, a genocide planned by the organization's founder, Margaret Sanger, one of Hillary Clinton's personal heroes, who equated black people to weeds that needed to be exterminated, and the progressive left is all for it. I think that it's deplorable that those innocent black lives don't matter to Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, and that conservative pro-life voters are pretty much the only people saying anything about the national disgrace of abortion. I think it's deplorable that children are being sexualized by the media. Little girls are being dressed up like whores and paraded around on stage and are being told that this is normal. I guarantee it's not normal. And I also guarantee that every pedophile in America had every episode of Toddler and Tiaras and other programs like it set to record on their DVRs each and every week. Liberal Hollywood is actually feeding that sickness on a daily basis. The new Fox sitcom The Mick repeatedly subjects a 6-year-old boy to overtly sexual situations. In one episode, he's encouraged to wear a dress where he says, "I can feel the breeze on my vagina." In another, after burning his tongue on a Japanese hibachi, his guardian actually puts a bondage device on his head that forces his mouth to remain open. That's just sick. The Learning Channel has a show called I Am Jazz about another little boy who was dressed as a girl and even put on artificial hormones at an early age by delusional parents. To make matters worse, their doctor performed surgery on the child to make sure that he did not go through natural male puberty. He was physically mutilated, emasculated by the doctor with the full cooperation of the child's parents. That isn't just deplorable, it's downright horrific, barbaric, and criminal. Even the prestigious National Geographic magazine is trying to normalize transgenderism in children. In their January 2017 edition, they told the story of Avery Jackson, a 9-year-old boy whose parents Debbie and Tom started dressing him as a girl when he was just 4 years old. This poor child doesn't know any better, having been brainwashed by his own parents for all of his life, but they do know better. I've got no idea why the Jacksons or any other parent would subject their child to this kind of psychological and physical abuse, because all of the established models of developmental psychology state that a child that young is incapable of seeing themselves as a sexual being. I think it's deplorable that young children are being told by their parents that they are gay or transgendered, filling their heads with the nonsense that this is somehow okay, normal, or natural. Not one of the accepted models of developmental psychology states that a child has any awareness of their sexuality until puberty. The Sigmund Freud school states that the fourth stage of childhood development is the latency stage, and it occurs from age 5 until puberty. A child's interests are repressed during the latency stage and are not awakened until hormones begin to flow when the child reaches puberty. Erik Erikson's model of developmental psychology states the same thing, that children do not even begin to think about their sexual identity until they reach what he called the psychosocial stage of identity versus role confusion, when a child asks, "Who am I and what can I be?" That stage doesn't even begin until the child is at least 11 years old. The World Health Organization considers gender dysphoria a mental disorder, as does the DSM-5, the go-to source for all things psychological. A psychologist at Johns Hopkins University concurs, publishing a paper stating that transgenderism is a mental disorder that merits treatment, that sex change is biologically impossible, and that people who promote sexual reassignment surgery are collaborating with and promoting a mental disorder. These prepubescent children are being manipulated by their parents and sympathetic doctors in a process that psychologist B.F. Skinner called operant conditioning. They're being trained, like rats negotiating a water-filled maze, to act in a manner that is in direct opposition to normal childhood development. They are being emotionally abused by adults who put their own need to advance a particular social agenda in front of the needs of the child. Liberals, you've lost any moral high ground with me, so I want you to chill out, have a nice frosty glass of shut the hell up until you stop using children to advance your sick agenda, learn to act like grown-ups, and stop throwing temper tantrums because you didn't get your way in an election. I mean, really, who dresses up like a huge vagina and acts like a bunch of idiots in order to make a point? Grow up already. I'd like for you folks to click the link right in the middle of the screen to get the latest scoop on Operation Free Pete. I intend on going to Nevada to cover the trial of the Bundys and my friend and fellow journalist Pete Santilli, who's been held by the federal government for nearly a year without bail for the alleged crime of reporting news live as it happens at the Bundy Ranch standoff in 2014. You can also visit the YouTube page of The Truth is Viral to see how you can help. Remember to share this video everywhere you go. Subscribe to The Truth is Viral on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and go to my homepage at bobpowell.blogspot.com to donate whatever won't put you out towards my mission of saving lives and winning souls for Jesus Christ in these very last days. Thank you for watching The Truth is Viral. My name is Bob Powell, and as always, God bless, Semper Fi, and hoorah.
Thank you for watching The Truth is Viral with your host, Bobby Powell. Make sure to follow The Apocalypse on Twitter at The Truth is Viral. Like The Truth is Viral on Facebook, and if you can, please remember to donate to the cause via PayPal at www.bobpowell.blogspot.com.
Smack runner.